Let's get motivated with George. All right. Today I want to talk about why you think you can't. Because I think there's a reason. So what I realize, we're all a collection of experiences. We all are a collection of memories and experiences and how we've been conditioned. Okay. And so in order for us to really understand, because you may be thinking about something and you say, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. And every time you get ready to get started, you get frozen. You know, we start talking about the next step and you get frozen, right? So I think there's a reason, and I want you to understand what goes into you feeling the way that you feel and you not moving forward and doing the things that you want to do. So we have two aspects of this. We have what we think and what we do. And sometimes the two are not together. Do you ever find yourself thinking one thing, but then doing something else? Well, there's a reason for that. And I want you to understand what those reasons are. And I make material for personal development, for motivation, to help you improve and upgrade your life. And if you can upgrade your life, then guess what? You can upgrade your income. You can upgrade where you live. You can upgrade the type of decisions that you make, and you can make better decisions more out of not the lack of money. Okay. So this channel is not specifically about money, but if you can upgrade, then you can upgrade your money. You can upgrade the money that you earn. You can upgrade how you earn that money. So why do you think you can't? That's what it is. That's the name of this video. And this is video number 7, I think, in our 30-day challenge. So I'm doing a 30-day challenge where I'm doing a video every day, okay, for 30 days for the month of April. So I want you to hold my feet to the fire and watch me try to pull this off, okay, with this challenging schedule that I have, okay? So a very challenging schedule, but anyway, no excuses. I'm not making excuses. I don't want you to think that's not excuses, because I don't make excuses. I make money. I don't make excuses. You can't do both, right? All right. So number one is you've heard no 5 times as much as you've had yes, as you've heard yes. So think about it. As a little person, and by the way, I'm reading off of my notes on my phone, because y'all know I can ramble like I just did. Okay, so you've heard no 5 times as much as you've heard yes. As a matter of fact, let me tell you a secret. Studies show that in order for you to do something, you have to hear it several times. You have to hear yes several times in order to make a decision. Because we're creatures of familiarity, we're creatures of habits. And so if something doesn't feel familiar, then it could be a threat. All right. Your system will perceive it as a threat. All right. But because you've heard no so much, now your inner language will tell you no. You can't do that. That's not possible. With your schedule, with your personality, you know, everybody knows you're an introvert. You can't do that, right? So what we're talking about here is we're talking about conditioning. Now, because of the way we grew up, we were taught to focus on the standouts. That's point number 2. So what's wrong? So instead of looking at it in a way like, why wouldn't it work? We look at it like, why it won't work. So we look at what's wrong with it, right? You remember in Sesame Street, one of these things are not like the other, and it may have four things, but three of them were similar, and there was one that stood out. That stood out, that standout one, that's a part of our nervous system that helps keep us safe. So we're looking for the standout, okay? And so what's wrong? So before we, if it's something that we want to do, if it's something that we have the desire to do, we really want to do, we're going to pick it apart and look at what's wrong with it. So, all right. So the other thing is, by looking at what's wrong, and this is the next point, we get more of what's wrong. So when you look at it in a wrong way, so when you look at what's wrong, then you get more of why it wouldn't work. So the law of attraction says you're going to attract what you're focused on. So if you focus on why it wouldn't work and what's wrong with it, then you're going to get more answers, more results on why it won't work and what's wrong with it. Isn't that crazy? Right? So the law of attraction says you get more of what you're focused on. So you're going to get more of what you provide energy and information. So the direction that you provide energy and information, that's what you're going to get more of. All right. And so what if when I first started this channel, I was focused on watch hours and subscribers, almost with like anxiety about whether or not it was going to work out. Well, by me focusing on that, I'm focusing on it with a negative energy. So therefore, I'm going to get more of that negative energy. So believe it or not, I won't get the subscribers. I won't have the watch hours. I'll get more of my anxiety. My anxiety is, let me check it all the time to see what's happening. And hopefully something good is happening. But the energy that I'm bringing to it, okay, it's not working. And I'm frustrated. So the energy, so now I'm bringing frustration to my channel. So it's almost like I'm stepping on my opportunity. And what happens is people end up quitting right before their channel takes off. How many times have we heard that? How many videos I've watched? Hundreds of videos where people say, you know what? People quit right before everything takes off. So you don't even give yourself a chance. So I'd much rather fail at trying to do something than succeed at not doing anything at all. So to speak to this condition, this conditioning, okay, and it's from childhood. It's childhood conditioning, okay? Believe it or not. Matter of fact, what I say in my trainings, I train other therapists in a therapeutic process called eye movement desensitization reprocessing. And what I say is everything we've learned about being an adult, we learned before we're 10 years old. So believe it or not, your nervous system was put together pre-birth right on up until you were 10 years old. So check this out. So I don't know if y'all familiar, and I'm sure you are. You know what a what a guppy is, or a goldfish. and what an Oscar is, right? Those are two different types of fish, but their aggression wise, a goldfish is not very aggressive. And an Oscar is very aggressive. They're very aggressive fish. So they was they they noticed that when they put the Oscar in the tank with the goldfish, the Oscar would eat the goldfish. Any surprises there? No surprises. So what they did was they got a brand new batch of goldfish and they put a glass partition in a tank between the Oscar and the goldfish. And so every time the Oscar would try to attack the goldfish, they would hit the glass and hurt themselves. So after doing that enough times, they finally got to a place where they had no desire to want to do it. And so when they removed the glass, now the goldfish could swim around the Oscars without any threat. Because the Oscars wouldn't even go after the goldfish. And that's conditioning. You ever see how they anchor an elephant? A big, huge elephant. And they put this little rope and they just tie it around something. Obviously, the elephant has the power and the girth to get free from the rope, right? Well, why doesn't it? Well, because that rope has been around that elephant since they were a baby. And when they were a baby and they tried to push against the rope would hold them. So it becomes a conditioning. So what I've learned, I don't know about you, but I have been conditioned. So part of me being an adult is breaking those childhood conditioning. So first I got to discover them. I got to understand them. And then I've got to try to break free of them. Because the world will tell you what you can't and cannot do enough. And then you'll tell yourself what you can't do. Hope this is helpful. Hey, thanks for listening. And remember, let's get motivated with George. God bless. See you in day 8.